So, Guilty Gear Strive. Pretty good game. Now, there's a lot of reasons to like this game. You can like it for the gameplay, which is, well, to be blunt, I'm not good at video games, and even I can play this game. Granted, I'm an Elfhill main, and a Zato main, so take that how you will. There's also the music. The music. There's a story, which I am not qualified to talk to you about if you get Guilty Gear Strive. For the love of God, there's a museum in there which has all the lore and all that. Go into that, or just watch a video on the entire story. Just do that. However, what I came to Guilty Gear for, and what a couple of people came to Guilty Gear for, was the dudes. Was how the dudes are drawn. Now, the art in this game is really, really good, as 3D animation is also really, really good. Now, I can't 3D model, but I can draw. So we're going to be drawing Soul Badguy today. So, just quick rundown for those of you who don't know who Soul Badguy is. A scientist, turned bounty hunter because his best friend was kind of a dick, to be honest. We all have that one friend who turns our fiancé into a giant monster robot. You know, just a typical day in New York. And now basically as an immortal fire-shooting bounty hunter man. He just kind of fights people. I mean, he has a daughter, allegedly, and a grandkid, and a son-in-law who he hates, which is the main well, I guess I shouldn't say it's the main conflict. It's the main rivalry of the series. Now, unlike with previous Guilty Gear art that I've done, such as the quick doodle of that man that I did, the I'm Sanough sketch, and then the entirety of the Ramafall art, I'm not doing this in the anime style this time. No, I'm doing this in my actual art style, which, I mean, the other one's also my art style, but it's a Persona to SMT situation where the art style that I'm going to be drawing in today is basically SMT, and then the more popular spin-off is the anime style, which everyone knows me for, so I want people to know me for this too, so we're going to be drawing in a bit of a cuter style. Now, the sketch of Soul was already made from this piece here on screen, but I wanted to just clean this up, thought it would look nice, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. So, let's get into drawing Soul. Alright, now on to actually drawing Soul. Honestly, not too much to say here. I'm going to be quiet for the most part because really there isn't that much exciting things, to really say about the process. I'm going to move the layer that I'm drawing on up because I accidentally did the layer under the sketch instead. But the main issue was mostly just figuring out what details to keep and what details to mostly just strip down. Like a lot of details, like very small text was removed, or like details that you really wouldn't be able to see in a simplified style were mostly taken off. I did keep the free on his belt. His weapon was basically just made into one long rounded rectangle. I don't even think that you can see where the handle is supposed to be. Yeah, you can't see where it's supposed to be. I did screw up on the belt, mostly just the sizing. The detail on the hands, the belt buckles were stripped down just being pretty much just a sideways T, mostly just so it wouldn't clutter up the hand, but it still gives the idea of what's supposed to be there. I didn't draw the pattern on his right leg. I don't know why. Here I am just selecting the colors. Instead of black, I went with just a very dark shade of red to sort of just be a substitute for it, just to fit the color line art. very bright red. I did desaturate that later on just because it was way too overpowering for Soul. And then his hair color isn't the same as the one that I picked from the color wheel because it was not red enough. And I just wanted like a bit of uniformity with all of his colors. Like I wanted it to all be warm colors. Shading process is pretty simple. You're just blocking in parts and then filling in those shapes. Not too much to say there. I'm doing this color by color though, which did lead to some parts of it being missed. Like later on, like part of the coat wasn't shaded. The entirety of his fingers on his left hand weren't shaded. I think the headband was shaded. But the shading here is done just with, I believe it's a 40% opacity multiply layer, and then the color is just, I think it's his hair color, or it's the color that was substituted for black. It gives a very soft look, which I'm very happy with. Felt weird not to draw with just like all like the pets and stuff, because usually nowadays that's what I'll do even on a character where it doesn't really fit, but I don't know, it just feels weird not to draw it. The highlights are just a soft light layer with white, not much of a crazy technique going on there. Did not make the metal that shiny, mostly just because of the simplified aspect of the style, but yeah, no, if this was the anime style, the gold and stuff would be way too shiny. Just going to adjust his colors, and that's our final product. Now, I did also do an alternative, which uses less colors. I think it only really uses 3 colors. And overall, I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. The Guilty Gear Strive background that you see here was done by Zero Nero on Twitter, or X, because this was pretty much the best image that I could find of that background. And then just a joke edit, because I thought that this would be funny. If you want to see more art, you know where to go. There's plenty of links in the description. Have a good day.